Oh. Let me be clear to all game developers. It doesn't matter whether you win a Game of the Year awards or not, or any awards, gamers will always support you. Remember that. And that goes same for Expedition 33 developer, okay?
Clair Obscur Expedition 33 became a mega hit overnight. There are millions of people who fell in love with this title instantly, and while it did get the most nominations in the Game Awards history, we are talking about a title that I think is going to get snubbed for GOTY because it doesn't have the highest critic scores out of all of the nominees, but a lot of gamers are crossing their fingers hoping that this title doesn't go ignored.
Whether a game, well, let's say whether Expedition 33 wins or not, we gamers will support that game either way, okay?
Going after the notes yourself, eh?
Now, let me clarify one thing.
Luck. I've got a crew working on the doctor as I speak. They'll squeeze the formula out of us soon enough.
Yeah. Okay. Remember, I choose Batman Arkham. Oh, there.
Why don't you just give up? Go on, roll over and try for one. Be your best.
I know. This game right here, the one you're seeing, this game won Game of the Year, and guess what? There was no biases. I believe there was no biases when this game won Game of the Year.
I'm losing patience. You're cheating. You must be.
Honestly, whoop. Yeah. Or that.
So, you found it at last. What have you been doing with your time?
It's not gonna open.
Hold on! I think I've got it.
Yeah, you said that 10 minutes ago. You could be the one to tell him. I'm not gonna.
It'll be open any second. Damn it!
This is a game that I absolutely love now. I know so many of you fell in love with it, and it is always nice when your favorite game gets a lot of recognition and attention. None of us really trust these award shows anymore. They are completely rigged, but at the same time, you do still want to root for your favorite title. Now, if you don't know how rigged this is, we know that there is a board that is made up of industry journalists, industry shills. I mean, even these companies are invested in this event. And how are the winners selected? They are determined by a blended vote between the voting jury. 90% and public fan voting only counts for 10%, which is the major issue. This has been how it's worked forever. The jury, which is made up of industry journalists and really activists, count for 90%, which, that if you actually start taking a look at the nominees' user scores versus the critic scores, we are talking about a very tight race here, and I have a feeling it's not going to be Expedition 33 winning. Now, they did release the full list of nominees today. For the Game of the Year, it is Hades 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hollow Knight Silksong, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance, and Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. Now, I know a lot of people are expecting Death Stranding 2 to win. I personally think that Expedition 33 completely wins. I think that it deserves every win that it's been nominated for.
Well, so here's the thing. Let's see. We got Hades 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hollow Knight Silksong, Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Death Stranding 2. Again, when it comes to award show, it is pretty rigged. 90%. Back in the day, it was, I don't know, I don't want to call it biased, but then again, with that kind of voting, to be honest, I didn't know that kind of voting until now, at least.
You're an idiot. Joker's not gonna be happy, and you know what that means.
Whoop.
Quiet! Just shut up!
Allez. So,
Joker's thugs were trying to get into that office.
will it be
It looks like they couldn't get through the main door.
I mean,
Got to find a different way in.
aren't we shocked about it? Trust me, folks. I mean, you remember Hogwarts Legacy, when back when Hogwarts Legacy was released, they didn't receive, or in this case, Hogwarts Legacy didn't win any rewards because of J.K. Rowling's. No, it's true. And despite that game, despite Hogwarts Legacy sell like what, a lot of copies, 35 million, it was snubbed from the Game Awards. Same goes for Black Myth Wukong. So I urge every developer from now on, regardless if your game fails, or in this case, regardless if your game wins the award or not, gamers will always support you. Remember that.
Someone has already got to the safe. The only question now is, who opened it? No sign of forced entry. Whoever opened it knew the combination. Let's see.
Good. Dr. Young got to her notes before Joker. She's taken them to hide somewhere. I need to follow her and find out where she put them. Oracle, I'm on Dr. Young's trail. I've had to calibrate the scanner to only show recent prints. If I follow these, I will find her or the notes.
I hope it works. Just so you know, the GCPD found one of Joker's bombs downtown. It was full of marzipan and kittens.
As I thought, it's just a twisted diversion. The real action's on Arkham.
Wow. Sorry, that will be cut. Apologies for any interruption, folks. You know what, let's continue forward.
But I do love Silksong as well. I would be perfectly happy seeing Silksong win a few awards. Though, at the same time, we are talking about complete industry snubs here. I mean, we are not talking about Pokemon. We are not talking about something like Ghost of Yotei. We are not talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows. All of these games that apparently were so big and got so much attention. It looks like those games only are in the like smaller categories. I would say the largest out of them was Ghost of Yotei getting Best Art Direction nomination. Though
I highly doubt
we're
it.
talking about something like Yotei getting Best Narrative nominee, Best Score in Music, Yotei, which that's definitely not going to get a win there, and Ghost of Yotei in Best Action and Adventure Game. And funny enough, the only major nomination that Assassin's Creed Shadows got, which I think was so freaking hilarious to me, is innovation in accessibility. What? It's Atomfall, Doom the Dark Ages, EA Sports, South of Midnight, and Assassin's Creed Shadows. But besides this, Shadows didn't get any noms for music or writing or gameplay. Nothing.
Ironic, isn't it? You wonder why it didn't happen. Ironic, isn't it?
Joker was right. He's over there.
Get him!
Waste him!
Override you!
Allez. Oh, ow.
That's gotta hurt.
Ooh. Honestly, I think maybe because of the hip-hop music, even though Assassin's Creed Shadow have already removed that hip-hop, I don't know if it's still there, okay? Not certain. And seriously, innovation? What does Assassin's Creed Shadow or even South of Midnight innovate? No, generally, folks, what? Unbelievable, folks. Sorry about that.
I don't know. There's an option.
It must be him.
That meaning it is already left in the dirt and completely forgotten. Now, again, I do think it is important to point out that none of us should take this award show seriously. It is basically paid wins
yeah.
because we're talking about the largest companies in the video game industry actually paying for this event to happen. They're sponsoring it, and the journalists are the ones that are voting primarily, and that is why I am extremely worried. Now, I think that because Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is such an amazing game, it does deserve all of these nominations. It is the most nominated game in the Game Awards history with 12 total noms, though I don't think it's actually going to take Game of the Year. Let's head on over to Metacritic and let's look at some of these scores. Now, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 has easily the highest user score, sitting at a 9.6, nearly perfect. But the critic score is a 92, which is still pretty good, but not as good as some of these other titles like Hades. But Hollow Knight Silksong sitting at an 8.9 user, 91 critic, which, by the way, I would be perfectly fine with Silksong taking Game of the Year as long as Expedition 33 wins most of the other awards. Silksong was absolutely phenomenal. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, 8.7 user, 88 critic. We have Donkey Kong Bonanza sitting at a 9 user and a 91 critic, which, by the way, I think is way too high for this game. It was fun, but not that fun. Death Stranding 2, 8.8 and an 89. I actually thought the critic score was going to be higher because I thought that Death Stranding 2 was going to win. This wouldn't surprise me, though. But Hades 2 is sitting at an 8.7 user, but a 95 critic, meaning Hades 2 currently has a higher critic score than Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which is wild to me. But I think a big reason why Hades 2 is going to win is because, yes, it does feature what, of course, these critics care about the most, and that is LGBTQ representation.
Now, this is why, it's one of the reasons why I think I put how to reset everything, which I think probably going to make another one in my second channel.
That guy's crazy.
Because, frankly, don't forget, the award show needs a reset, folks. That's right, the award show needs a damn reset. Oh. I mean, seriously. Why? Look, I think this because of the 90% critic votes, such as journalists or anything, that is something that needs to be fixed, okay? Remember, I think it's best, in my opinion, we need to make 50-50. Yeah, 50-50. I mean, critics get 50%, gamers get 50.
No idea.
Okay? That's how it is.
She looks scared. Mate, I heard he's brought someone in to deal. You should ask me. I'd have made it.
Because 90% goes to critics and then 10% goes to gamers? Yeah, no. Yeah, I think that really needs to be fixed. Generally. Generally, folks.
He's here!
Allez! Oh.
Tons of articles that have actually been written on this now. I was a little bit mind blown to see just how thirsty some of these video game journalists are, because they always complain, oh, you're just gooners, you only want to see hot women and characters in video games. But when you actually take to a search and you look up the articles that they've been writing, we have LGBTQIA plus representation in Hades. This is the representation we want, as a post over on Reddit. Outright said Hades and queer representation. The gamer said that Hades is very gay, and the fandom has cultivated a predominantly queer subsection with a love of certain characters, and Hades 2 needed to be gayer than ever, but they did a follow-up article talking about how gay it is. Gaming Magazine talks about Hades being gay. We have Hades characters, LGBTQ characters wiki over on fandom.
No wonder nobody watches those articles.
Sexuality and vocality in Supergiant's Hades sequel. So we're talking about quite a lot of coverage that this game has gotten due to representation, and we know that that is really all these critics care about, is pushing sexuality, and they really only care about representation. So I have a sneaking suspicion if Clair Obscur doesn't win, it is going to be Hades 2, because again, the journalists' vote count for 90%. We are in the minority, we're only 10%, which is crazy given they need this show to bring in gaming viewers.
This kind of mentality needs to stop, okay? Seriously. I mean, seriously, 90% go to journalists?
Arkham Library. History is so important. It's enough
there's
to
two.
drive anyone crazy. Come on!
Sorry, folks. Let me just get this.
Congratulations! Now, take a stroll downstairs and save the helpless hostages.
Honestly, folks, I have to say, Hades 2, I mean, what are the chances of Hades 2 is going to win? Because
Reading the
LGBT.
last page first? Shame on you! Well, here's the punchline. 2 minutes, gas
Seriously,
goes
I-
boom.
they-
Permanently cheering up those
I think from now on-
miserable doctors.
Yeah. The journalist needs to be. I mean, seriously, Jeff, what are you doing? Does Jeff Keighley knows that, what, the journalists are getting laid off and not relevant anymore? Why is he still listening to journalists? I have no idea, folks. Seriously, I swear.
1 minute 30 to go.
Whoa!
Gotta say, I'm getting bored already. Maybe I should just press the button and...
Thank you, Batman. Are they all gone?
Yes, you're safe. What happened?
It all happened so fast. Some patients broke in, began tearing up the place, like they were looking for something. Bill here fought back, but there were too many. They took Dr. Young. She rushed in here and they followed.
I'm sorry. When I came to, we were all tied up. Doc Young was gone.
Seriously, this is.
I heard a voice on one of the radios. It sounded like they were being told to meet in the warden's office.
So, Dr. Young was trying to hide her research notes
yeah.
on the formula when she was caught. Where did you hide them?
So look, folks, I think here's the real problem that needs to be addressed, okay? Jeff, you really need to stop giving these journalists any leeway, okay? Look, they don't care about you. From now on, Jeff Keighley, you need to start listening to gamers, whether you like it or not.
Oracle, I found Dr. Young's formula.
Great. So does that mean you've stopped Joker?
It's never this simple with him.
If they push away gamers, nobody's going to watch it anymore. But taking a look at some of the threads on social media, there are a lot of people saying they are very happy to see Clair Obscur and Silksong on this list. And listen, if you think another game should win, that's perfectly fine. It is your opinion. But at the same time, I think that a lot of people have certain expectations for an event like this. Shroud, look, Arc Raiders, where? Hey, I thought that Arc Raiders was actually snubbed in the sound design category, or best audio, excuse me, because Battlefield 6, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Yotei, and Silent Hill F are here. I think Yotei should have been kicked out. I think Silent Hill F should have been kicked out, and I definitely think Arc Raiders should have been on this list. Though, going back to the thread, when someone asks what I rate Expedition 33, 10 out of 10. If she doesn't win, I will be sad. That's only because they haven't added Hello Kitty Island Adventure into their consideration. Death Stranding 2 for Gotti, yes, we can. It still wouldn't surprise me if somehow Death Stranding 2 pulled out the win, because Kojima is so big, and I just don't think that people would be very happy with that in general. Silksong nominated before release. Is this real life, or are we in the simulation event? Expedition 33, sweet. They tried to sneak this in there. Bonanza's fun. I like Bonanza, but not as much as some of these other titles. Strong lineup this year. Every one of these games had its own cult behind it, but seeing titles like Silksong and Hades 2 finally in the mix makes it feel real now. No matter who wins, this is one of those years where the competition is actually stacked, not just filler. Hades 2 wins by default. Norman's Death Stranding 2 just strands us in existential traffic jams. A wild lineup this year, and yeah, it definitely is, though. I think that people have certain expectations, but I think we've all agreed that if Donkey Kong Bonanza wins, every single one of us is going to completely riot, because that shouldn't have even been on this list.
Apologies for it. Now, again, first and foremost, I would say shout out to Vera Dark. That was a good video. I think I could agree on Vera Dark when it comes to Hades winning, because, frankly, wrong button again.
What's that you've got there, Bats? No, not the formula. What am I going to do? Who can help me now? What's that? How about our old friend Zaz? I did bump into him on the way back from the gardens, when no doubt he was acting out some twisted fantasy. Maybe he could get her talking? I think he probably can. Great plan, Bats.
Honestly, folks, I think here's the real thing. From now, I believe the problem is, look what's happening. Now Jeff Keighley is now under attack by Alyssa McConaughey, because, what was he doing? Oh yeah, Alyssa McConaughey didn't get invited as a press, because everything is full. Jeez. Seriously, I always ask myself this. Why can't these award shows just be fair? But then again, these are the West. So I would say this. To all game developers, okay?
On sitting through that movie
regardless,
again, Come on.
Okay,
We'll be late
let me try one more time.
I'm sorry, Daddy.
To indie developers, AA developers, and developers from the East.
Keep up, Bruce.
It doesn't matter if your game doesn't win or not, as long as you do the right thing. You make good games, gamers will support you. They will have your back.
Where are you taking us?
We can cut through here.
But it's starting to rain. Bruce is tired.
Again.
Can't we just wait for him here?
Come on, keep up.
Also, again, regardless of the reviews, play what you like, okay? Doesn't matter. Okay?
Please, there's no need for this. I'll give you whatever you want.
Oh God, Tom!
I mean, seriously. That is... Ooh. Okay, So hopefully you just saw that. Don't worry, it will get cut. And enjoy the cutscene. Again, like I said, let me be clear. Regardless if you, to all the developers, either indie, AA, or Eastern developers, doesn't matter whether you win or not, as long as you did the right thing by making good games, gamers will support your game either way, okay? Whether you win or not. Enjoy the cutscene.
Come on, kid, this way. Take a seat in my office.
Is he okay? He'll be fine. A kid like that with all that money, he'll be just fine.
Shut up, now. He's 8 years old and all alone. Money will fix that.
Whatever you say, Gordon. His butler's on his way to pick him up. You hear that? He's got a butler.
I'm sorry. I just need to ask you some questions. Can I get you anything? You okay? I know you don't feel like answering me, but it's the only way to catch who did this.
What are you doing, officer? Why?
I don't know. It's this city. There's something wrong with it. And listen, son. Call me Jim.